Good day, everyone. I am Mr. Garth Reed, Student Ambassador in the University of Technology Jamaica and Mathematics Teacher in Training in the School of Mathematics and Statistics. Today, we'll be looking at a CSEC mathematics question in section 6 of the syllabus, that is algebra, and the topic that we're looking at is worded expressions. All right, so here we have a question. It says, write the following phrases as algebraic expressions. All right. The first part says 7 times the sum of x and y. Part 2, the product of two consecutive numbers when the smaller number is y. And part 3, the sum of a number and its multiplicative inverse is 5 times the number. All right, so let's go right into the question with part 1. Part 1, solution. So part 1 says 7 times the sum of x and y. All right, so I'm going to first focus on this, the sum of x and y. All right, once you see sum, you know that we're dealing with addition. So we're adding x and y. All right, and it says 7 times the sum. So that will be multiplied by 7. All right, please ensure to use your brackets. If you said that the answer is x plus y, and you put this 7 here, right, that is incorrect. All right, because 7 has to be multiplied by the sum of the two numbers. So after you add the two numbers, then you multiply. All right, so please ensure to use your brackets. So that is the first part of the question. Part 2. All right, so part 2, solution. Part 2 says the product of two consecutive numbers when the smaller number is y. All right, when the smaller number is y. So let's look at it. 2 and 3 are consecutive numbers. All right, 3 and 4 are consecutive numbers. 4 and 5 are consecutive numbers. All right, and so on. So let us look at it now. It says the product of two consecutive numbers. All right, so let me just highlight something here. The product of the two consecutive numbers when the smaller number is y. All right, the smaller number is y. So let's take, for example, 2 and 3, which are consecutive numbers. The smaller number here will be 2, right? So you can say, all right, 2 would be the y, right? Because they said that the smaller number is y. Okay, now what is the other term? The other term is 3. So what did I do in order to get 3? All right, I'm at the value 2 and I go up to 3. So in order to get to 3, I would add 1 to 2, right? I hope you can see that. So the other number would be y plus 1, all right? Because if I want to get from 2 to 3, I would have to add 1. And 2 is a smaller number, which is y. And it says the product, they want the product of these two consecutive numbers. So the product would be y multiplied by y plus 1, all right? And that is the solution for part 2 of this question. Good. Part 3 says the sum, all right? So it says the sum of a number and its multiplicative inverse, all right? And that is 5 times the number. So the sum of the number and its multiplicative inverse is 5 times the number. Let's write our solution down here. All right, part 3, solution. The sum of a number. I'm just going to use x to represent that number. All right, let me scroll down a bit. I'm going to use x to represent that number. And it says sum, so we know that we're going to do some adding. All right, it's multiplicative inverse. All right, so the sum of a number and its multiplicative inverse. So what is the multiplicative inverse of x? It is basically the reciprocal of x, all right? So if you have x, let's do it here. If you have x, then the multiplicative inverse is going to be 1 over x, all right? You can write the x as x divided by 1, and the reciprocal of that is 1 divided by x, all right? So the multiplicative inverse is 1 divided by x is, so I'm going to write equal to 5 times the number. So that's going to be 5 multiplied by the number, which is x. All right? So the solution here is x plus 1 over x, and that is equal to 5x. Okay? And that is the solution for this question. Now, for part 2, let me also say that the brackets are very important. All right? The product of the two consecutive numbers. So we know that the consecutive numbers in terms of y is going to be y and y plus 1. And you're multiplying, so you have to put the brackets. All right? You have to put the brackets. If you were to put y multiplied by y and then add 1, that is incorrect. All right? That is incorrect. So these are the solutions for this worded expression problem. All right, if this video was helpful for you, please ensure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos, all right, and also share it with your friends. I am Mr. Garth Reed, Student Ambassador in the University of Technology Jamaica and Mathematics Teacher in Training in the School of Mathematics and Statistics. I thank you for joining.